Welcome back, another episode. Masters of the Air has explored some of the darkest missions and situations that the 100th Bomb Group went through over the course of 7 episodes. It is perhaps best that the series passed over one mission in particular due to a time leap in the 7th episode. The troops of the 100th had witnessed several terrifying and deadly missions since the first episode, including those at Regensberg, Munster, and most recently, Berlin. These missions portray the desolate aspects of the 100th, but it turns out that the show is hiding even more of them. The 100th pulls in a number of replacements in Episode 7 of Masters of the Air to take over for the soldiers who were lost on earlier missions. The majority of the original 100th have either been dead or taken prisoner of war by this point. But the conflict rages on, and as the 100th mission approaches, the stakes get higher. In the 7th episode, on a mission dubbed Black Monday, the 100th encounters Berlin for the first time. The episode omits to depict Black Thursday, a comparable conflict that took place a long time earlier. The time jump of Masters of the Air past Black Thursday. The disastrous Munster raid in October 1943 is depicted in Masters of the Air Episode 5, and the effects of Munster on LT, Call, Robert Rosenthal and Major John Egan's captivity in Episode 6 are shown. However, the 7th episode leaps all the way to March 1944. Significant occurrences like Black Monday and the Great Escape take place 5 months after the Munster raid. But this leap in time utterly ignores Black Thursday, another significant conflict in which the 100th participated. On October 14, 1943, a few days after the Munster raid, this mission took place. German forces were able to locate and target the Americans with ease, even with their greatest attempts. Thus, in a well-planned and massive strike, the Germans eliminated each of the American bombers individually. There were about 600 airmen lost in all, with 60 B-17 seconds destroyed and another 17 severely damaged at the mission's end. Despite the effective bombing of Schweinfurt that day, the American casualties were enormous. Black Thursday was probably left out of Masters of the Air because the show wanted to keep the plot moving forward because it is so comparable to earlier losses of the 100th Bomb Group. Among the other fatal missions the 100th flew, Black Thursday does not stick out all that much, but it is another excellent example of the heavy damage the unit received throughout 1943. For instance, the fact that Regensberg is going to Africa makes it noteworthy, but Munster is noteworthy because Major John Egan is taken prisoner of war, and LT, Call, Rosenthal is the only pilot who made it back to base. Even if Black Thursday could have been incorporated in Masters of the Air Episode 6, it probably would have made things go more slowly. The 6th episode should have been devoted to investigating the cast of Masters of the Air rather than just flying tasks. In addition to learning about the mental conditions of Major Harry Crosby and Rosenthal, audiences had to observe what happened to Major John Egan following the Munster raid. Thus, a more leisurely Episode 6 advanced the plot far more than a riskier mission such as Black Thursday would have. In the end, it's a good thing that Masters of the Air skipped over Black Thursday since it kept the plot moving and preserved some semblance of optimism. Even if the narrative of the 100th Bomb Group is clearly depressing and seems to become worse with every episode, adding Black Thursday to the already depressing tale would have been superfluous. Masters of the Air would become too challenging to watch at a certain point if the series continued to feature only the most significant and terrible moments for the 100th. Despite its sinister moniker, Black Thursday is an important operation for the 8th Air Force, thus, it's better that Masters of the Air didn't depict it. The show managed to stay lighthearted while making good use of the additional time by delving into the characters' emotions. In addition to bringing viewers closer to the actors, this helped set the stage for the dramatic conclusion that is likely to come. Though it was a good idea to skim over Black Thursday in order to make Masters of the Air exciting, it should still be recognized. For more, subscribe.